So as you guys know, yesterday Take-Two Interactive had their earnings call for fiscal 2021, the first quarter. And we heard from Strauss Zelnick, we heard from Take-Two Interactive, and they talked about a lot of interesting things in regards to Rockstar Games, Grand Theft Auto Online, and what Rockstar is going to be doing in the future for GTA 5. All interesting things that I think are very cool to talk about. Now, if you guys want to check out a transcript of this entire call, I'll leave a link to a site in the description that has outlined the prepared remarks, the calls and questions and answers, and a whole lot more. So we first heard from Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick, who ended up saying that Take-Two Interactive's outstanding results were driven by the performance of Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto Online, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Red Dead Online. And he goes on to say that they are incredibly proud of their entire organization during this time. Now, the first big thing that Strauss sort of led off with was nearly 7 years after its release, sales of Grand Theft Auto 5 continue to exceed expectations. The title has now sold in nearly 135 million units and remains the standard bearer of the current generation console. In addition, recurrent consumer spending on Grand Theft Auto Online outperformed our forecast, growing 155% to a new record. Okay, so just on those two subjects right there, number one, GTA 5 continues to sell like crazy. I mean, 135 million units, that is absolutely wild. And what's crazy about that amount, aside from 135 million copies sold, is that is up almost 5 million copies from where they were last financial quarter, which was Q4 2020. Now, Rockstar did end up going on to say that the 5 million copies that were sold in the last 3 months does include all the downloads of the game from the free week on the Epic Games Store. Now, they didn't go into specifics of how many of those 5 million were contributed to the Epic Games Store copy. If I had to take a guess, I would say at least a couple 100,000, probably millions, if not more. That's being pretty conservative right there. So that is incredible. It just goes to show you again why GTA 5 continues to be like the king of games and is just growing on almost every single level. So really great job right there, obviously, from Rockstar. That's sort of how they led things off with a big bang, announcing that GTA 5 is killing it. And then as far as what's going on in Grand Theft Auto Online, if you don't know what recurrent consumer spending is, that's basically people buying shark cards. So that grew to a new record, up 155%. And I'm not sure why that would be the case, especially because in the last 3 months, we haven't seen a new GTA Online update. The only reason I could see that happening is because when players ended up getting the free version of the game, maybe on the Epic Games Store, obviously you don't start with a lot of money. So maybe people consider to themselves, hey, because I was able to get the game for free, I guess I have a little bit of leftover money. I can spend that on a shark card and sort of jumpstart my online life. That's like the only thing I'm sort of thinking there. Now, Rockstar also gives sort of a recap on what happened to Grand Theft Auto Online over the last year, and they also talk about what's to expect going forward. They said in April, Rockstar Games released Gerald's Last Play, a series of 6 new contact missions for Grand Theft Auto Online. The first quarter was the second best period ever for new player acquisition since the title's launch in 2013. The unprecedented player volume trend started with the superlative performance of the Diamond Casino and Resort update in July 2019 and drove record average multiplayer MAUs, which is something I don't know, through August 2019. Persisted with sequential results in average multiplayer MAUs from December 2019 through May 2020. We now expect Grand Theft Auto Online to establish new net bookings records in fiscal 2021, which basically means they expect people to purchase a ton of shark cards. And I feel like the only way to keep that trend going is if new updates end up arriving. Now, Strauss also talked about their partnership with the Epic Games Store, saying the partnership with Epic Games Store for Grand Theft Auto 5 was offered for free for a week in mid-May. and was a contributing factor to the strong performance of Grand Theft Auto Online and did not come at the expense of paid sales of the title. In fact, Grand Theft Auto 5 sold through more units in the period than any first quarter since the title's launch in 2013. That is crazy. So even though the game was free on one platform, the game still sold more than any period ever, except for when it launched. I guess the only way I could explain that is maybe players were getting the game for free on the Epic Games Store. They told their other friends about Grand Theft Auto. They might not have had access to the Epic Games Store and thus bought it themselves. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that I'm really not too sure about. But that's what they talked about regarding the Epic Games Store. They also talked about what to expect next with Grand Theft Auto. They said throughout the coming year, Rockstar Games will continue to support Grand Theft Auto Online with more content updates to keep new and returning players exciting and engaged. So they used the word content updates plural. Now, I don't know if that means like downloadable DLCs. I don't know if they consider that to be, the weekly events. I'm pretty sure Rockstar used that language intentionally, but I still think it's promising that they say like it's going to be supported and it's going to get new content updates throughout the year. Now, moving on, we also heard from Karl Slatoff, who had this to say. Rockstar also announced an upcoming summer update to Grand Theft Auto Online, and both Grand Theft Auto Online and Red Dead Online will receive major updates later this fiscal year, featuring an extension to existing frontier pursuits for Red Dead Online, as well as Grand Theft Auto Online's biggest update ever, featuring a new take on heist in a new location. And looking ahead to fiscal 2022, Rockstar Games also announced that they will bring their beloved and iconic Grand Theft Auto 5 to the next generation of consoles in the second half of 2021. So again, sort of a recap on what Rockstar has announced in the last couple of months, nothing super major there. And really, other than recapping what Rockstar has already said on the Newswire, the only thing he goes on to say is Rockstar Games will share more details on the new versions of Grand Theft Auto in the months ahead, which is sort of the same sentiment that Rockstar themselves have even echoed on their Newswire page. So again, just sort of recapping some of the things that they ended up talking about. Now, probably the most interesting part are the questions that people can call in and ask, and we actually heard a couple of interesting ones that were geared towards Strauss Zelnick and about Grand Theft Auto. So one user, Mike Hickey, ended up basically asking why it's been so long since Grand Theft Auto Online has received an update. He was saying like it's been since December of last year. And Strauss said there is more content coming for both Red Dead Online and GTA Online this fiscal year. So stay tuned. I think it's going to be awesome. And as you know, Rockstar Games decides on the cadence of updates, and it's driven by great ideas and the ability to deliver those great ideas into superb experiences. And all our labels wait to distribute new content until it's nearly business perfect as it can possibly be. So he's basically explaining it's up to Rockstar. It's up until the content is perfect, until it makes sense business-wise. I guess those are like the three factors on why it's been almost going on a year now since we've received a full-fledged Grand Theft Auto Online DLC. A couple of other questions that Strauss Zelnick was asked. Another user, Mike NG, said, I was wondering if you could expand on the GTA 5 Enhanced Edition for next holiday. It feels a little inappropriate to call it a typical remaster, and I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about whether or not there's an opportunity for a GTA, call it a replacement cycle, will you? And Strauss ended up saying, Grand Theft Auto 5 was created for the last console generation. It is the standard bearer in this generation, and now we've announced that it will be available for the next generation of consoles, which is just amazing. Historically, Rockstar always delivers a great new experience with new content and new opportunities to excite, engage, and excite players. And that's true of everything Rockstar Games releases. Any more details, I think, will properly come from the label in due time, but we couldn't be more excited that this next title will be available for the next generation of consoles. Again, a pretty standard answer right there, nothing all too exciting that was revealed. Now, Strauss ended up getting another question from Matt Cost, who said, so GTA on the next gen, can you walk us through the decision to split it into the back half of next year and split it into a separate online mode and then like the upgraded version of GTA 5. And Strauss ended up saying, I mean, the decision regarding GTA for next gen is a marketing decision and a production decision by Rockstar. And I'm sure they'll have more to say about that in the coming months, but I'll leave it to them as I prefer to do. In terms of the pipeline, we've been very fortunate. So regarding the call, that is pretty much everything that Take-Two Interactive, Strauss Zelnick, the higher-ups there had to say about GTA, Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto Online. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about this incredible announcement and earnings call from Rockstar, and what do you think it means for the future? Let me know what you guys are thinking in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.